All right. Hi guys. To start out, well, actually, first, Alexis, do you want to chip in and let her know or no?
Yeah. Sorry, Professor, for not showing my face, but I'm really sick and in my deathbed, so I can't really show myself. I have like a tissue in my nose and everything.
Well, props to you for making it. So, all right. So the first question is, do you guys believe law enforcement will improve in the following years? And if so, how do you think it can improve in the next following years?
It's funny because I just had this conversation with one of my roommates, and her dad is like LAPD and everything. And I do think law enforcement's gonna change, but only because bad things are happening to make it change, or else it wouldn't on its own. Like the Minnesota like police departments, they like completely fired everyone and rehired them. But if you think about it, that's only because that the George Floyd incident. And I wonder if that stuff would have happened if it didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing that it will change. And I feel like there might be even more requirements and more training that you need to go through in order to be so we don't run into that problem anymore. But that's just one of the ideas I think of.
I think it's hard for it to change just because like the way like a police station, like everyone has their back and it's very like if something happens, they try and keep it in like internal and they try and fix the issue within the police station. They don't use an outside source. So that's why like a lot of stuff like goes under the radar and no one knows about it. So I think like I don't know. I just think like what happened with George Floyd, like that massive event that got so much publicity, that's why things changed. And like, I don't know. I think like for more like police stations in like smaller counties that are probably doing the same like corruption, it's just gonna be hard to change.
Yeah, to build off that, I feel like just in previous years and even now, I think I guess I don't know if this is the right word, but I feel like there's kind of been a lot of deflecting sort of in the like law enforcement system, and like a lot of kind of like blaming outside things or other things, like not taking full responsibility. And I feel like now we're kind of reaching a point where so much is coming to light and people are actually like kind of educating themselves on it and becoming more aware and really wanting them to take full responsibility for their actions and not blaming it on other things. So I think that's definitely something that could be worked on, and I really hope that that does change and get better in the coming years.
I feel like that's like little tangent that you just reminded me, like they're blaming other things. Like this whole module or this whole week, I think it was just talking about that, like they were blaming African Americans for being criminals and everything. But I feel like it was their fault that they're like that because they criminalized them. So, but
Yeah, exactly. And like in the documentary we watched, how that one part where President Reagan, he like implemented the law that like the drug law saying, and it was basically just like intentionally targeting like people of color like that were involved in like that the drugs, even though like everyone was like not everyone, but there was people of all color using cocaine, but it was like if it was crack cocaine, like nope, like you're going to prison. Like I don't know, I just feel like there's things in the system that, and I have another question, so I guess we'll maybe talk about this more during that question, but I feel like there's just like a lot of things that where there people like that are people of color are targeted. Sorry, I can't even talk. But yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say. But my third question kind of talks about that a little bit, so maybe we can talk about that more then. But does anyone want to add anything to that question, or should I move on? Okay, I'm gonna go to the second one, which is with the instances that have occurred in the previous years, do you feel that our population has become more aware of social injustices? If so, do you think that the awareness has been helpful for our society, or has it divided our society? I know we kind of talked about this in the last question, but it's a little more specific if anyone wants to talk about
That's a really good question. I like how you included the division. Honestly, like, I think it can cause some division because the people that have learned about the social injustices, we stand our ground and we try to like teach other people and make them knowledgeable about what's going on. But some people are just so close-minded, they get like offended easily, or they just don't want to agree with it. And I think opinion about any injustices, politics and stuff are, it's just really hard to get past if people have two different ones and they're both hard-headed. Um, so yeah, if some people just don't want to agree with it and it just causes more division, I think.
And I feel like that's also has to do with like too much pride and maybe like, yeah, just too much pride. But I think that we have become more social aware or aware of the injustices. And again, like going back to like, I feel like the Black Lives Matter was just like a pivotal changing point where everyone was becoming more aware and asking themselves like, hold on, like what about this? And like thinking about other areas that were similar. And yeah, I think it has been helpful. The awareness has been helpful, but at the same time, it has caused division, like Alexis said.
Yeah, and with the Black Lives Matter thing, I think it was this class, but I think that's the way to show that more people are becoming more aware, because that was created in like 2013 and I had no idea it was created then, but in 2020, like that's when I found out about like Black Lives Matter personally and stuff. So I think it's good that more people, like, that showed that over time, like change has been happening for more people to know about it.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, sorry, Erin.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Are you go?
No, I was just gonna say that I agree with what you both were saying. I feel like the question, like, I wanted to ask it because I feel like it is a good question. I want to hear your guys' opinions, but I do feel like it kind of has had a little bit of both. Like, it has been really helpful to make our society like more aware of the social injustices, that are constantly going on in our society. But I feel like I'm not sure, Callie, if it's you or Alexis, but one of you mentioned how like people are just so hard-headed and people just don't see eye to eye. So it's in the same sense caused a lot of division. And I honestly don't know if we'll ever get past that kind of just division in our society, because like people just don't agree. It's always going to be, it doesn't matter what it is, it can be any topic ranging from very serious to very not serious, and people just disagree. So I hope that people can really start to see clearly like all of these injustices that are happening within our society and agree that they need to be changed. But I don't know if that will ever happen, but I hope.
Yeah, I agree with what everyone's saying. I feel like for like the younger generation, it definitely like brought a lot of people together. I feel like the younger generation's more like empathetic to stuff like that. But then also with the Black Lives Matter, there was like All Lives Matter, which caused that division. And I don't know, I feel like it's just because like people are always like, well, what about me? Like, yeah, you're going through that, but what about me complex? So that's what causes the division. But yeah, I don't know. It's like both ways. There was a lot of divide and then a lot of people coming together to support.
Yeah, I know that's a good point to bring up the younger generation, because I think that for the most part, I think the younger generation has become more aware, and hopefully they make changes, as the years progress, but we will see. I'll move on to the next question now, and unless anyone wants to chip in anything else. Okay, so my third question is, for those like Jasmine in the article, do you think crimes committed by the mentally ill should be reconsidered for jail time? What are other better options for those who suffer from mental illness and commit crimes? And to kind of carry off of that, I know that the article mentioned the redesigning of jails to make it more mentally safer, but in the same article, another person said that a jail is a jail is a jail, you know, like jail is jail. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that jail is jail and it should just stay the same? Or do you think for people who commit crimes that are mentally ill should have their options reconsidered?
I think that's really hard because like you still have to think about the victim. So like you don't want to just like say their crimes are like void because they're mentally ill, because that family still is suffering. I think in like a perfect world, or like what would be most beneficial is if there was some way like people who had mental illness can receive free health care. Maybe that could help. Like just get them diagnosed, get them like medicine, and like stuff like that wouldn't happen. But I don't know, I'm so torn because like in the end it's still like they're both victims, but like yeah, it's just hard.
And I feel like I don't even like the idea of prison because they're not really being helped at all. Like they're literally just incarcerated. And I feel like the point of a prison should be to help them and help them see, like, change their ways and everything, but that's literally not what they do. So for like specifically for those who are mentally ill and who commit crimes, I think they should be receiving a lot more mental health support. And again, there's just so many cases that or crimes that I've heard about, like videos and stuff, that it could have been avoided if they had received the help in the first place.
That reminds me of the Joker movie, the newest one, how in the beginning he got cut off from all of his like therapy sessions and his doctors that would like help him because of funding got cut, and then that's when he started to go crazy because he didn't have support. So yeah, I think like an institute or something where they could be helped mentally and told like you can't do this and this is why, and like to help them understand why it was wrong. And they like people understand it's uncontrollable sometimes, but like you said, if they got the help from the beginning, then they probably wouldn't have felt that point of where they just lashed out.
Yeah, you guys all make really good points because it's like, in a sense, it seems like they are both victims, you know, like because one is very mentally ill and needs help, but at the same point, it's like they commit a serious crime. How are you supposed to deal with that? You know, like how are they supposed to be punished, but like learn from their mistakes and all that sort of thing. And I definitely think for those that are mentally ill and commit serious crimes, if they had not, you know, just some form of therapy, something within the process of them like taking responsibility for their actions, just being able to learn from it and cope with their illness, you know, and what they've done. Because, you know, someone may not even know what they did. Like they might not even understand that what they did is serious, but how do you move forward from that, you know? So it's hard. And the article that we read, I feel like it did a good job of like kind of weighing the options sort of, and what, you know, what is the best outcome. Like I feel like no one really knows. So it's kind of hard to think about and to discuss, but you guys all brought up really good points. Well, if you guys have nothing more to add, I can end the Zoom now or stop the recording now. So thank you guys for participating.
Thank you.